Welcome to Enter the Vault.
These are the chronicles of two fat nerds on a quest to do as little as possible with their lives.
I'm Connor Christian.
I'm Dean Case.
And this is Crowded Places by Contrail.
So that was Contrail with Crowded Places. That was cool. They're cool. Way cooler than I'll ever be.
Way cooler than we'll ever be.
Which is sad. But hey, you know who else is cool? Diet Sig.
Diet Sig are fucking cool as shit, man. They're actually one of the coolest bands that I've seen in the past year, man. It's a shame that everyone else that was at the gig is a massive fucking loser.
I was going to hold off and really get into it later.
No, I'm not going to do a big review. I'm just going to throw it out there now. We'll talk about Diet Sig for a little bit because Diet Sig, yeah, like you said, are super fucking cool. And I didn't really talk to them that much. You talked to them a little bit. And from what I could mildly hear over the mumbling and bumbling of the crowd, it seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, they were really nice. As you know, we've played them before.
Harvard,
twice before,
right?
Actually. Yeah, we played Harvard and... Did we play them again?
No, we've played them once.
Yeah, but go check them out. They've got 2 EPs out and they're working on an LP at the moment, which they played loads of stuff from at the show. At the Old Blue Last in... somewhere. It's like not quite Shoreditch.
It's
not
like
quite
Shoreditch Hoxton?
Yeah, kind of. Old Street Short. It's a weird place.
Yeah. It's like that weird, like... capture point between all of all three of them.
Usually there's pretty good shows there. I've seen quite a few bands play there, but Diet Sig obviously come over from the States, first time over in the UK,
have such a huge sound, again a bit like Play Lounge, just a guitarist and drummer setup, got a fucking huge sound, man. Huge energy as well.
They sound fat live. So we were I was pretty excited to see these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'd listened to Harvard and then a couple of their other songs off that album, just in passing. You know what I mean? Just heard it on a playlist or whatever. Never disliked them. I like their fast punky vibes. Everyone, if you listen to this podcast regularly, you'll know that if anything's got a snare drum on every other hit, I'm like, boom, I'm in there. I'm like, hello.
Yeah. So I was pretty pumped to go see these guys just because, first time over from the States. They played a couple of shows in the UK before this one. I think they was in Bristol before.
Yeah, is this their first time on tour though in the UK?
Yeah,
like so this was just like the fourth date and there.
So the first London show they'd ever played, and then they was doing 2 other London shows after the Old Blue Last, which was pretty sweet. And I kind of wish I'd gone to the others, but I was so jaded by my experience at the OBL that I was just upset, to be honest. But still, I got a comfy hoodie out of it. Jumper rather, not a hoodie, pullover, whatever
you want to call it. It's a shirt that's thicker than other shirts.
So where do we start with this? What happens?
Well, I mean, when we first got there, it was honestly way more crowded than I thought it was going to be.
We should also just say quickly the support bands were cool.
Yeah, I did think that when you were talking Bruising, because we didn't. There was that other band. We didn't see the first act, so can't talk about that. The act that we walked in on, I cannot remember the name of them for the life of me.
No, and we missed like all of their set.
Yeah, we got like the last couple of songs, and they were okay. Like they didn't grab me as much.
I think if I'd probably have been there since the start of their set, it would have grabbed me more.
Yeah, gone into the sound a bit more. But except we just walked in and
mid-song as well. We walked in mid-song, which never helps.
So it's not an accurate representation of what they're actually like.
Yeah, but yeah, Bruising were really good. Never heard of them before actually. So I was very impressed.
They're really cool. Apparently, I have a long lost brother.
Yeah,
in Bruising as well.
So if Bruising are listening to this, which they probably won't be.
Well, maybe one day we'll get a song on there.
Well, I might message them and be like, hey, some guy who I know looks like your other guitarist. Can we play one of your songs on our podcast?
It'll be cool. It'll be neat.
Yeah. So we timed it just right to get a decent spot in the crowd, because even though it's a pretty small venue, it does get bodied in there.
Yeah, but the best part about it is it's full of like young hipstery people, and we all know pretty much every young hipster person smokes. So after every set, half the audience leaves, and you can get into nice.
They smoke disgusting Woodbines,
or just I don't know,
American Spirit.
Or if they're rolling, it's always like Pall Mall. Everyone's smoking Pall Mall rollies, and I don't get it.
And they taste like shit.
Because smoking doesn't taste delicious. I'm not like, I could have a buffet of tobacco. But I mean, Pall Mall has got a really gross, just icky taste to it.
Yeah, but I guess it's like a diet cig, right?
Hey, it's really going to make you stop smoking.
So yeah, we managed to basically time everything with smoking breaks for other people, and then kind of weave our way in.
Yeah, we were being smart about it, man.
Yeah, we got to a pretty decent spot, and then they started playing, and they had a really good start to the set, high energy. Yeah. I think they were a bit nervous at first, obviously,
a little bit nervous,
but that's to be expected.
But she definitely put on it. What's the lead singer's name?
I don't know. No idea.
She put on a really good face. She was instantly bouncing around straight away. You know what I mean? Just like had so much energy, was bouncing around, was just really bringing some electricity to the crowd. But the crowd apparently were made of plastic. They're not very conductive with that like electric energy that was coming off the stage, because even though she was bouncing around the stage, the drummer bobbing his head back and forth, just really going for it. Everyone was just standing still, and I mean, it makes sense. Like, when the band first starts playing, and you've got like, you got no idea who they are. But again, that doesn't make any sense, because I mean, if they were all just there to see Bruising, then wouldn't they have just left after Bruising?
I guess, but the thing is, they were like Diet Cig with a headline act.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it was a free show, so I'm guessing some people were there just like
Old Blue Last. I normally come here. I'll just hang out for a bit.
But I think the problem with it was that it was just, even though there was some pretty high energy songs, everyone was just standing there, chin stroking and drinking craft ales and beers.
They don't actually serve that many craft. I was really, because I sometimes dabble in my crafts a little bit, and they just had like Cobra and Grolsch. Really, I was like,
boring.
And even in the bottled section, like the most weird they got was Blue Moon.
Yeah,
which is delicious. I love
Blue Moon's great.
Fucking love it. I love it when you can actually get it in a pint and you get an orange slice in it. I don't give a fuck. The orange slice makes that shit taste like heaven in your mouth.
So I really enjoyed the show. Other than that, it put such a dampener on me because I just wanted to get into it, and there was this doesn't sound like super bitchy, but there was just a guy like just slightly in front of me and to the right who like I know the band, so I've listened to them quite a lot, so I know like quite a few
lot of the lyrics. Yeah.
So there was a few people there that were also singing along, so I would just sing along. But
I think there was a grand total of 4 people singing along. It was you, a guy nearer the front, and then 2 guys more behind us.
Yeah, and every time I would sing, I know my voice isn't that great, but
yeah, I mean, like, I could definitely hear you singing, but it's like.
You've got a big sound system in front of you that's way louder than me. So, yeah. And there was this guy just in front of me who just every time I would even like open my mouth, he would just turn around and give me the dirtiest look. And I was like, and then he'd just go back to standing there still. And I was just like, what the hell? Why am I not allowed to enjoy myself at this show that I've come out to see of a band that I like? Is it not cool to
dance around anymore? And that's the thing, because again,
they're a dancey band.
Again, I'm going to reiterate, they're pretty punky, so a lot of high energy. And as you know, Dean and I, pretty big punk fans, so we're bobbing our heads back and forth quite a bit. We did try a couple of times just to get a bit more energy into the crowd, just bounce around. We weren't like shoving into each other, like kicking the shit out of each other, just shoving into each other a little bit, getting a bit of weight. And every time we would move just even slightly, there was a girl to the right of me who kept like looking over at us and giving us like the proper stink eye, and just like, oh, and it's like, don't come to the fucking punk rock show then. You can fuck off. You know what I mean? It's like, this is fucking, it's really annoying me. Like, I would say I'm normally quite articulate when it comes to my arguments. I'm not really, but this is just one thing that's really gotten to me. Like, the fact that these are supposed to be like our peers and our contemporaries. They're supposed to be like enjoying the same music as us. Yet, maybe it's not so much that they weren't dancing. It's the fact that they were just being super judgy.
Yeah.
Every time we wanted to dance, it's like they're literally playing dance music. That would be like if you went to a fucking disco and just started shaking your head every time someone started doing, I don't know, the fucking Macarena whenever that came on. It's like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
The songs literally ask you to do it.
Exactly.
It's like if the Cha-Cha Slide came on, someone like did a step to the right or whatever, and then it was just like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we gritted our teeth and got through it. And yeah.
But the set was fantastic.
The
Just everything
like you say, else.
She had a bit of a mildly rocky, and that's the other thing, right? At one point, she says, "I can't really see your faces, but I can see your heads moving side, like swaying from side to side. It's pretty cute." And I was like, "Nah, you're not supposed to look at your crowd and think, that's adorable." They're making British people look like pussies.
Yeah, they are. They are. Even when I went up to them, I like just wanted to, because I'd already spoken to them before. I was basically just going up to them to say, "Hey, that was a cool set," because Old Blue Last is kind of like open the stage. There's
it's very much stuff. Like the bands don't go off into like a green room.
Yeah,
like they'll probably just pop off and then just go to the merch table. That's right next to them.
So I basically went over and was like, "Hey, that was a really cool set. Sorry that no one else was dancing." And even she was like, "Yeah, I noticed that." And I was like, "Oh, I was trying." And I got recognised apparently as trying. Which
she said she could see us trying to dance around, and
that's good, because I was just like, I hope you have better shows than this. I just had to apologise for Shoreditch.
We had to apologise for London punks, and that is the saddest fucking statement that you can. Yeah, I can't believe we had to apologise for people not dancing at
a punk show.
Fucking losers, the lot of you. I'm gonna say it right now. You guys are fucking losers, and you have to step up your game. If you want to come to the high energy show, bring some fucking energy, or don't just don't judge. Just don't judge.
Come to our show that we've sold out of.
Yeah, man, fucking killing it.
It'll be fun. Right. Anyway, this is another band called Laced. This is a weird shoegaze thing. The band's actually not together anymore, but they put this EP online anyway. Like, I think it was a couple days ago, and I stumbled across it, and it was pretty sweet. So this is Laced with Celeste. So that was Laced with a song called Celeste. We have a booking actually called Celeste in the shop.
Oh, is that the one with the astronaut in front of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And haven't you got a copy of that as well?
I have somewhere.
Any good?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a really short story, but
obviously it's probably pretty cool. That's why you ordered it in.
Nice art, and it's nice in general. Yeah. So what have we got? Arcade Cab. Yeah.
Well, we thought for a second that we were on the cusp of getting this thing up and running.
Of completion.
Yeah. Is it? I feel like every project we ever, do, it's like we're gonna get this. We set a deadline, and then the deadline just extends by months and months.
By no fault of our own, usually.
I'd say by no fault of our own. Usually, we normally do our end of the bargain pretty sharpish, and then everyone else just takes forever.
So what happened was I was aiming to get it up by Sunday, but the computer that I had for it, I started testing it and getting everything up and running, and then the fucking hard drive failed. So I ordered one off Amazon. Mm-hmm. It got delivered to somewhere.
It got delivered to someone called Bry.
Yeah,
apparently, because you messaged me just like, did you sign for the package deal? I was like, dude, I swear we've only had the diamond delivery in, and you were like, check please. It's like, why? I know how many boxes I've signed for. It's fine. And yeah, it was signed by someone called Bry. We don't even know anyone called Bry. No. And no one in the shops anywhere near us is called Bry.
Yeah, so. Super strange. So I got that. That failed. So I ordered another one. No, sorry, this is in the wrong order. Anyway, I ordered one. It arrived. I stuck it in the machine. It worked for a total of 5 minutes, and then it just didn't get picked up anymore. And I was like, and then it was clicking, and I was like, well, that's a hard drive failure. Shit. So
the red ring of death for the hard drive.
So I've got to post it back at some point. That's a pain in the ass. So then I ordered another one. It's like, okay, cool. And then that's the one that didn't get delivered. So at that point I was like, fuck that. So I went to a little PC repair shop near us at the shop and picked one up. I paid a little bit more for it, but whatever. So it's just a 500 gig drive. So I installed that. Got Windows up and running, Windows 7. The PC isn't that badly spec'd. It's actually pretty decent for what it was. It's probably about 6 years old now, maybe a bit older. Literally, I was doing a little test with the actual arcade emulator and stuff up, and the screen just turned off, and I was like,
useful. Yeah.
So I rebooted, and it didn't come back on. So I was like, shit, that's not good. That's a graphics card failure probably. So I waited a bit, could have been like an overheat thing. So I basically waited, turned it back on about 5 minutes later. It booted up. Then I noticed that the clock on the actual computer was like totally wrong. It had reset to like January 1st, 2008.
I thought you were going to say like 2000. Like, oh my God, it just Y2K'd on its way.
Which is like a sign of motherboard internal clock failure or a battery that needs changing. And I just was like, oh, fuck
that.
This shit. I'm not running 1,000 diagnostics on a computer that's like 6-7 years old. Just to get it up and running for this. So hopefully I'm getting some parts off of a friend to basically just rebuild it in the case that I've already got. Because like the RAM works and I've got a spare graphics card somewhere, so I should just be able to just slot everything together and it should be fine. So
hopefully. And then we have to sort through the something, like 6 million games there?
There's like 28,000, I think.
28,000. It's like my old iPod, man. I used to, because as I've told you before, I used to be a bit of a pirate back in the day.
Yeah.
And so I just fucking pirate huge, just chunks of, just pick an artist, just like everything they've ever recorded.
Discography.
Basically. Yeah. So it'd just be like, boo, have all these duplicates, mate. Basically, because like they'll, bands will release special EPs that just have the same songs on and stuff like that. And then you'll have all these crappy bootlegs and like live albums on there, and you're just like, God damn. But then by the time that you fucking scraped every piece of information from a band, you've got like way too much, and it's such a bollock. I've done it like 3 times in my life where my iTunes has just got to that like that disgusting state, you know what I mean, where you're like, what is going on? What is going on here?
It's gross. Mine used to be like that, and then I got Spotify and just really really stop that. So there's 28,739 games.
Half of those are fucking Deal or No Deal, actually. I think.
Yeah. There's a lot of
fruit machines,
slot machines, that kind of thing. 'Cause it's basically just a dump of every single arcade game ever released, and that's everything from like DDR to like Galaga and old Donkey Kong games, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't work either. So that's going to take a little while to sort through. And
that's going to take a lot of trial and error of someone going like, oh my God, Donkey Kong 2, I've not played this game in ages. Oh, it's broken.
Yeah, I'll probably just try and put together a list of like the top 20 or 30 games and kind of sort them into favorites and then go like that. Just because I think it's going to be easier than people scrolling through thousands of games.
The fucking, it's basically like, where do they keep the Ark of the Covenant at the end of
the warehouse?
The warehouse with all the spooky bits and bobs in there. That's essentially what that is, just for arcade games. It's just all these spooky, old, dusty games. They're just like, I'll put it in there.
And then there's also like 4 or 5 versions of most of the games. Like, so you got like a Japanese release, a US release, a European release, version 2, version 3. Just like, oh God, so much shit to sort through. But we're going to have it done. I'm not fucking giving up on this project.
No, we've already invested too much in it.
Exactly.
For it to just be like, nah, just leave it by the wayside. Because then we'll just have a husk of an arcade machine in our fucking shop all the time. That's just like, I'll work soon, I promise. Like, no.
I mean, someone suggested using Raspberry Pi to do it, but I just don't think it has the processing
I remember saying
power.
that a couple of times. But after thinking about it, it might not have the...
I mean, if you think about it, like with those games, even if I strip them all back, you're looking at still at least like 70, 80 gigs.
Yeah, and especially
most Raspberry Pis run off micro SD.
Yeah, and especially with, so it's going to be not very fat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially with those like more graphically intense games like, Metal Slug and those older, newer arcade games.
I mean, Metal Slug runs sometimes a little bit laggy even on this computer, and this is pretty good. So on a Raspberry Pi with a 1 gigahertz processor and a gig of RAM, it's just gonna
crap out and die.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you get one, I guess if you got the mobile version and somehow managed to, but that's fucking impossible. Like that's
really difficult.
That's a lot of jargon and knowledge that I don't think you.
And I want a pretty looking front end as well.
Yeah.
So and you can't really do that with Pi. There's a app on it called like RetroPie, which is literally a black and white fucking spreadsheet of games. Basically, with all the ROMs, and it would work, but it wouldn't be ideal. So I'm gonna ignore that suggestion. Sorry. But
I mean, the actual cab itself is looking fucking dapper, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, I've got a few things to do on it. We've got the glass in the top. I need to do a transfer to get like the logo on that.
Are we gonna put like any glass where the actual screen is, or?
Yeah, I'm putting Perspex there.
Sweet.
Or what's that? What's the oh god, it's just clear plastic 4mm sheet of
I know what you mean.
Something. Yeah.
The stuff they use at the sides of hockey rinks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We can get that. It's a bit more expensive than glass, like only a little bit, but I think I'd rather have that there
than glass in case you have we have one angry customer who's like, oh, don't go, he just like smacks the screen and that's it. He has
a lawsuit on his hands.
Yeah, he's gonna look like the villain from Die Another Day. When he gets the diamonds like encrusting his fucking face, he's just gonna have that, just like echidna spikes going all down his fucking arm with glass pouring out of it. I'm not phoning the ambulance. If you punch a piece of glass and you get glass stuck in your hand, you fucking deserved it. So like, just get out of the shop. Stop bleeding on my carpet.
So we're getting some plastic screens to go over that. I think it's going to cost about 20 quid, which isn't too bad. But
I don't know why I said nothing like I'm the Monopoly man.
Just put your top hat back on.
I'd wipe my ass with 20 quid, mate. I don't give a shit. I hate the Queen that much. It's just like,
oh god. So yeah, and it's going to have some black edging. It'll look nice when it's done. It already looks pretty sweet, and I've got all the speakers working. So yeah. I've got to get a strip light, that front cover, and the PC in, and then we're good to go.
Only 4 more steps.
4 more steps, and then probably hours of tweaking afterwards.
Oh, just hours and hours of troubleshooting and things breaking down every day.
Yeah, probably. Oh well. I know that the arcade stick works, so that's one big
the
weight
buttons,
off my
the
mind.
buttons work. Fantastic.
Buttons work. Yeah, and I've actually plugged them in and tested them, so they actually do work. So my
Sweet,
wiring wasn't fucking shoddy and crap because I had to wire it all myself.
Well, it might be shoddy and crap, but it
works.
Yeah, but it works for now. And then give it a couple of months once we've mashed the buttons enough and the wires fall out, and then we
yeah, that's a good point.
I'm messing with you, mate. I'm sure you did a fantastic job.
No, I did it in like 25 minutes, I think.
Well, wow.
The entire control panel. It was like Lego, but with cables.
More haste, less speed. Is that how the saying goes, or is it the other way around? I don't know, because people always say it to me, but I never listen to them.
Because you're too busy like focusing on the last thing they said. Because you've got neither of those things. You're just like, something.
Give me a sec. But you know my brain's not very fast, man. It's like, I know, that's why I'm telling you to do the job better. So,
another song. These guys released the EP that we played the title track from a few weeks ago, Red/Yellow. This is Autumn Diet Plans, and this EP is out now. It would have come out a couple of days ago if you're listening to this on the Sunday. If we get it up
I thought you said they released it today.
I think it came out yesterday.
Whatever. The semantics don't matter. It's out now, but it's a extremely new release. You've heard a song from it before, so you already know it sounds pretty good. We got another one here, and it's called Lemons by Autumn Diet Plans.
That was Lemons by Autumn Diet Plans. Another yellow thing. I don't know if that's a...
Is that a theme? Did you look at the rest of the song titles?
I need to look at the rest of the song titles. If you think about
it, if there's one like called Blood or something like that.
I doubt it. That would be a lame name for a song, dude.
Well, Lemons is... I'm just kidding. Lemons is a cool name for a song. I was just thinking of red things. I wasn't trying to come up with like a Dark Side of the Moon masterpiece on the spot, yeah? Even though I don't think that.
But talking of blood, you made an accidental good segue.
It would have been a really good one if you didn't point it out. It would have been a fantastic one.
So we're gonna talk about The Thing and subsequently The Fly and The Thing prequel remake Thing.
That thing, the thing, thing.
That, yeah.
And wasn't there a video game about it as well?
I think so.
I feel like there was.
Yeah. There's a game that's very, very similar that's set on a boat. And there's weird shit happening. It's kind of like a Resident Evil thing. It's called Dead something.
I definitely feel like I've not played that game. I've definitely seen that.
It's
game.
really fucking weird, and it wasn't very good. If I remember.
And then you say that, and then I'm just remembering in a fucking another movie where the poster was like I think it was called Ghost Ship. I think it was something really fucking shit.
Ghost
like
Ship, yeah.
Yeah, and it just has it's like a ship
skull.
coming to it, and there's just a skull.
Yeah,
on it. Yeah. It was pretty cool. Like DVD
negative space.
Yeah, it was just a lot of. It was monochrome. You had like the really dark ship hole, and then like the skull kind of like faded in on it, and then just really deep red letters. They're just like blood ship at the bottom. It's like just one of those. It kind of looked like just one of those old crusty horror movies,
schlocky horror, man.
Yeah, that you just which I love. Which is why I subsequently watched The Thing today, even though The Thing's not a schlocky horror movie. I just again, as if you've listened to the podcast regularly, which you might or might not do, you know that I'm a fan of schlocky horror because I don't like psychological horrors. Not that like, oh, they get to me and I get all weird and scared afterwards. They just don't entertain me that much.
I'm a fan of the psychological and just weird horror stuff because I'm really into like the Cthulhu mythos and that kind of thing. I just like the idea that like just insanity is scary, pretty much.
Yeah, no, it's like I get that.
But like, yeah, I'm a sucker for puppetry and stuff like that.
That's what I was
The Thing is a fantastic example.
It is amazing. And the thing about it is, I'm just kidding. I was just going to say that normally, and then my shit joke brain was like, no, do it, mate, do it, say it. I watched The Thing this morning at work, just because like no one was in. I was just I'm making the Clerk stream come true, man. We've always said, much. And I was just sitting on my bum watching films.
Yeah, sweet.
That's what I was doing.
Cool.
And so I decided, okay, today's the time. You've been meaning to watch this for ages. You know, you just have that list of movies that you need to watch.
Oh yeah.
And but the thing is, and that's the thing
for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I've just only just recently started being like, wait a minute, because you know there'll be times when I'm like, I'm just a bit bored. What can I do? Especially just like knocking about the shop, or just when I'm at home, it's like I'm bored. What can I do? Mate, you got like fucking thousands of movies that you not need to watch, but that you've said you want to watch. So just do that. It fucking takes up like an hour and a half, 2 hours of your day, man.
Yeah. I really want to watch It Follows. Going back to psychological horror for a sec. Seems like just a weird movie. It's basically about a sexually transmitted ghost.
Yeah. I saw something about that. Weren't we talking about that earlier in the week?
With Steve, our lecturer at uni, mentioned it. Because it's got this weird score that apparently is really inappropriate at times, but apparently the actual movie's really good because the guys at Red Letter Media who do a series called Half in the Bag, which you should check out because it's way better than any film review we could ever do.
We've never reviewed a film in our life. We've just told people what happens.
Oh yeah, but we could it's still. I'm sure it's way better than our efforts
because they're extremely dry, just so dry. And
they know a lot about their subject.
And that's the thing. But they're ridiculously intelligent when it comes to their subject. You can just tell that these two guys. Well, the guys in Half in the Bag. There's 3 of them in Red Letter Media, or 4, 3 or 4.
3.
Yeah, they're all like just movies are their life kind of thing.
Yeah, and especially schlocky movies. So check out Half in the Bag if you want to see reviews of both bad and good movies.
Yeah, they normally recently they've just been doing like new releases, like the premise is like sometimes when they'll sit down for an interview, they're like, we've literally just come back from the cinema, we're going to talk about this now. And I love those kind of reviews, you know what I mean, where it's like still fresh in their mind. Like there's a reviewer I really like called Brad Jones,
right?
And he'll just he'll go to midnight screenings and then just pop out straight away, just get in his car with his mate, pop the camera on there, and he's like, well, that was shit, wasn't it?
The beauty of technology.
Love it. The beauty of the internet.
You know who else is great? Even though he's like super BBC and like posh, Mark Kermode.
I feel like if you like show me his face,
I will show you his face. You'll recognize him instantly.
Yeah. I feel like I will. Like I know his name and I can't quite. Yeah, I know him. Yeah. I like him. He seems to have a solid grasp again on what he's talking about. Again, he doesn't really. Whenever you see him, he's not getting like super in depth and like super arty about it. He's just generally stating the facts. He's just very to the point. He's very BBC about it.
Yeah, and he knows a lot about film. Yeah. So, back on subject.
Back onto the thing.
The Thing. Where can we even start with this movie?
I don't know. It's just because, like I said, this is the first time I watched it. I've always known that, like, if I watch it, I'm probably going to like it because I've never, like, if anyone's ever been like, oh, let's talk about shit horror movies, no one's ever really been like, oh, The Thing was wank, right? Like,
unless they're trying to be edgy. And
unless they're trying to be edgy.
Hate the prequel remake thing.
Yeah, it's off. Piss off, mate.
Because it was actually pretty decent. I even saw it in the cinema because I liked the original. And I was like, hey, I'm old enough to go see this in the cinema now. Cool. So I went and watched it. It's got a lot of CGI, but there's still the core element of just disgusting fucking puppetry and ooze. So
yeah, there was a lot of ooze in this movie. A lot of the monsters in it reminded me a lot of The Evil Dead, which I fucking love. But 100%. Just like the first time, spoilers by the way. So the first time
this movie's been out since what, 1986?
Yeah. So it's all, but everyone, whatever. So, but the first time you see the monster properly when it erupts from that dog, it's fucking amazing. Like it was so because I think I always knew that the dog, just from like what I've heard of the film, I always knew that the dog was carrying the alien. Yeah. I mean, it was like, because obviously I already knew that there was an alien in this movie. And then there's an intro scene where there's a Norwegian guy. This is literally the opening shot of the movie. It's just a dog running across Antarctica, and then a dude just like trying to pop shots at it.
Yeah.
And so you're like, well, this dog must be doing
up to something.
He must be up to no good, as Rancid once said. Like, and so he gets there, and then they're like, all right, put the dog in the kennel now. And he's like, okay. He puts the dog in the kennel. The dog just acts a little bit funny. He doesn't like go to sleep. He just stares at the wall, and it's like, yeah, all right. Turns the light off. The guy walks away, and then just pretty much instantly, his face just fucking erupts, and this fucking like, I don't know. I think this is my favorite looking puppet. It's just when, even though you know they're made of rubber and plastic, and they still look wet, just like permanently wet. When you just see this like deformed dog just spring out of this husky, and then just green slime starts spreading out everywhere, and all these little tentacles start popping out, and then possibly, even though it's really sad, the funniest part is there's one dog that's trying to claw his way out of the cage, and he's doing a fucking fantastic job. So that just shows you how terrifying this thing is to them. He's tearing through chicken wire, and he's so close to getting out. And then the alien, the thing, just fucking sprays a bunch. It just kind of looks kind of looks like a fire hose, just like it's like someone's just got a super soaker off the side of the screen.
It's a fire extinguisher filled with
like
ooze,
the goop from Get Your Own Back.
Yeah,
and then
slime.
But then we see what it actually does to people because later they go back into the kennel, and there's just like where the dog was trying to leap out of the fucking hole. There's just this like kind of half rotted dog corpse with like, eyes fucking hanging out and shit, and just like green slime and infected flesh, just
it's gross,
peeling off of it. And I don't get what, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, I've had this before where I've been talking about horror movies like around my family, and talking about like, dripping flesh and like eyes falling out, and I've just got this like big smile on my face, and they're like, that's not right, you really shouldn't smile that much.
I know what you mean, sometimes, like the first time I watched Dead Alive, that
or Brain Dead, as it's
or
sometimes
that Peter Jackson movie, before Lord of the Rings, obviously. I felt a little bit sick watching it because it's so graphic and just it's not the actual like
gore of it because it doesn't look realistic.
No.
Like every time you see blood, like in The Thing, for example, it's like that literally just looks like icing, like, you know, watery frosting that you've just put red food coloring in. Like, I know, but it's just the excessive amount.
There's so much of it. There's so much of it, and like the Thing and The Fly was another one that you messaged me about last night, which I've seen as well. I thought is a great movie too.
Yeah.
That's
another little Lord of the Rings tie-in. Howard Shaw did the score for The Fly.
Right, weird.
Not that good. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I think it's because he's trying to get, because Howard Shaw has always been very big and orchestrated, and he's pretty much just using sampled instruments on this, or just a very limited orchestra.
Yeah,
and it sounds kind of wank in places, but
it was early days.
Early days, yeah. And he was limited. It wasn't shit, like, but I was doing my whole music analytical thing. You know
watching
what I mean?
for the score.
Yeah, watching for the score, yeah. So
Which is interesting.
sometimes it does seem a little bit iffy, the score. It seems very, like, disjointed. It'll go silent in weird places, but whatever, man. The actual Fly
fucking terrifying.
Is terrifying. That is one of the first times I've seen a monster in a movie. And for those of you who haven't seen The Fly or don't know what The Fly is about, it's about a guy who makes a teleportation device. He gets in the teleportation device. You've seen it parodied in The Simpsons.
In a thousand things.
Yeah. He gets in the teleporter, but then a fly also gets in the same teleporter that he's in, gets teleported over, splices their genes together, and he slowly starts becoming a huge fly, basically. Ugh. And then towards the end, he looks fucking gross. He's basically, his skin is all bloated and it's like this fucking gross crimson color.
Yeah.
And like, he basically turns into a modern day version of, I guess, like Mr. Hyde or Quasimodo or something like Quasimodo, sorry. No, Quasimodo. That was the first. I got it right the first time.
You did. You're thinking of the rapper
I was thinking
a sec.
Yeah. Great, by the way. Check him out. And then, at the end, when you see him just basically start to break down, and you see all of his flesh peeling off and stuff. Fucking awesome. I had a customer in the shop today, and I was talking about it, and I had the reaction again. They were just like, they didn't like go, ooh, but I just started talking about it, and I got a bit into it, and he was just kind of staring at me blankly, like, yeah. And I was like, oh, don't mind.
Oh, so sorry if you were that customer.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Oh, well. Yeah, it's a strange movie in the sense that it's got such a logical progression, I think. And even though it's a fucking extremely over-the-top horror movie, I really like the fact that his transformation isn't just straight away.
It's a really slow build. Yeah.
And I like that because it really builds up the tension for that final scene, which is excellent. Like, it's so tense by the end. Even though you've had like this big reveal of the guy's face popping off.
And I think it really says a lot about the original story. The fact that, I mean, in any other monster movie, they would just, they would either make him like the pathetic good guy who's like, oh, I'm just a monster trapped inside myself, please help me. Or just instantly turn him into a bad guy. This one, I flip-flopped so much. Like Gina Davis in this movie, I flip-flopped so much as to whether like I actually liked him or hated him.
Yeah.
At the end, you know what I mean? It was so weird. I was still...
It's kind of tragic in a lot of ways.
It's a very Hunchback and Notre Dame story. It definitely rings true to that.
This is the 80s version we're talking about, by the way. I've not seen the 1950s one.
The 1950s one, no. But I'm pretty sure that's an excellent story, but it probably has nothing on this. The makeup effects that they had.
I forgot to mention when we was talking about The Thing, just to go back to that for a sec, the fucking head spider.
That's fucking gross. And again, the first when they're doing the defibrillator on that guy, I don't know how to say that word. I just say it wrong
you
all the
said
time.
it basically right. It's close enough.
And then there's just that shocking moment where he just goes clear, it just goes into him, and his chest just fucking caves in, and there's just that fucking huge, basically a sarlacc in this guy's chest. And because I've seen that so many times on like scary moments lists and just people talking about it when they talk about like amazing moments in visual effects and horror and stuff like that. And it still caught me off guard, and it still made me go, whoa. And I just thought, like, imagine being there in 1980, I think it was 8, I think.
In the cinema.
Yeah, in the cinema watching that and just being like, Jesus fucking Christ. And that first comes up. It's like, oh, man.
Yeah,
it's fucking amazing.
The head spider is probably my highlight of that movie.
Yeah,
it's
that
just
is
so fucking gross and just weird, and it's just got this like it's got that weird bit of sound design when it moves.
Yeah,
yeah. And it like clinks on the ground as well because it's got like
the insect legs. Yeah.
Legs,
it's like the arthropod legs.
So strange. But yeah.
So all in all, we're saying
movies.
Big thumbs up to The Thing and The Fly. If you guys just next time you're having one of those like generic, let's watch some scary movies together. I always find don't actually bother going for movies that are proper trying to scare you. Don't go for like, you know, when you get like, oh, let's get a really shitty horror movie from Blockbuster or whatever. Fuck that, right? Because you have a shit night. Actually watch a schlocky one that's good. You know what I mean? A schlocky good horror movie.
Or something that's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's not a horror movie, but Battlefield Earth is a prime example.
Prime example of something that's just so ridiculously awful that it actually has some redeeming qualities.
And if you're in Poundland, go pick up Alien versus Hunter if you can find it.
If you can find that rare gem.
We've got a couple of bad DVDs in the shop that we really need to just watch and review. Yeah. It'd be fun. What have we got? Alien versus Hunter, that weird Santa thing.
Yeah, we've got the Dyatlov Pass incident.
Oh, yeah, that.
They found a body in the Dyatlov Pass recently.
Weird.
Yeah, madness.
Very strange.
So if you guys want to look into that, that's odd.
It's a weird urban mystery type thing. That's probably not really a mystery. It's probably just some nuclear testing. But yeah.
It's just an odd thing.
So this is... We're just getting on to our final segment now. Oh, so we got a little song before that. This is by Mr. Loop and Illusionists. Also features Mark from the Zoo, who we played on the first episode. So this is called Elevator Music, and it's on an EP that you can grab on Mr. Loop's Bandcamp. So yeah, enjoy.
I ain't the master, but I'm a grafter, threatened by a sense of impending disaster. So before that bring an end to the laughter, I'm penciling bars with my head to the stars and my heart in this music. I spread peace like Siddhartha Gautama, but can't let these bastards abuse it. Better get ghosts like Dennis Coles when I pin a scroll from the bottom of my very soul. Now why you scared of the future? Looking like you stared at Medusa, frozen. I'm bearing the fruits of my labor, the strangest of fruit with unusual flavor. Raising the roof with the youthful behavior mixed with the ancient soul, cause believe life takes its toll. When the streets ain't paved with gold, I take a stroll, escape from the gaping hole and elevate. Elevate, 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 elevate. Yeah. Gotta take this chance cause we hate to lose it. Mr. Loop delusion is making moves to elevate. Elevate, 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 elevate the music. Gotta take this chance cause we hate to lose it. Mr. Loop making moves to elevate.
You wanna master the art, asking a lot, looking without for the answer, but it starts in the heart. You see, I became a G up in the game, it was an accident. Now I capture them all with the facts and never acronyms. Burglars up in my house look for blueprints. They wonder how I do this, then look for Mr. Loop's crib, so they can do the same thing for ratings. But if it's ever played, they be raging, it ain't him, y'all. The fans know this, indeed you can focus on the fact that I be the man to catch the damn culprits and beat them down so quick. The power of the word and the power of my third eye, you're so absurd. I would probably batter the crap out of 10 cats and save the other chaps for the raps of Ben Black. Yo, we bring the fire to this high up in the roof splits. Elevator music, some renovated new shit.
Elevate, 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 elevate. Yeah. Gotta take this chance cause we hate to lose it. Mr. Loop delusion is making moves to elevate. Elevate, 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 elevate the music. Gotta take this chance cause we hate to lose it. Mr. Loop, art from the zoo, making moves to elevate.
Abide my time, but time's running out right about now. Like a sapphire pal, I sprint out while the doubt shroud my motive. Keeping my enemies the closest, we toke spliffs, honestly thinking this race is hopeless. The joke is, we've been doing this 10 years, head steers in the direction of careers in the public domain. Never no gain from giving answers to folk asking questions with labels they plaster you. Telling me this and that, I should try a different tack, change up if I want some dough in my piggy bank. But they don't understand this is who I am, and I'll elevate my own way to view the bigger plan. And I'll scan the horizon, transfix my eyes on the prize, then setting my compass I'll take strides. In the end there's no pride in simply following a shepherd, so I cut my own path and moving stealth like a leopard.
Elevate, 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 elevate. Yeah. Gotta take this chance cause we hate to lose it. Mr. Loop delusion is making moves to elevate, 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 elevate our music. Gotta take this chance cause we hate to lose it. Mr. Loop delusion is making moves to elevate, 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 elevate. Yeah. Elevate, elevate, elevate.
So that was Mr. Loop with Elevator Music. He's the producer, but it's on his album, and it's kind of like more of him just collaborating with artists that he knows and has worked with in the past. So you've got like a bunch of good stuff on there. Barfly by Mark from the Zoo is actually from that EP, and there's a bunch of different stuff on there. It's nice and varied. You've got like some sad songs, some uplifting songs, and then that, which is kind of in between. So got some good news this week.
Good news
amongst the terrible news that happened twice in a very short space of time.
Very short space of time.
David Bowie and Alan Rickman unfortunately passing away.
Two brilliant performers and just brilliant in their craft just all around. There's not really much more you can... there's a lot more you could say about it, but not much.
We would never do it justice.
We could never do it justice. Just wherever you are, guys, keep killing it, man.
So, Robot Wars is getting
we thought that was dead forever, and it's coming back. So
I've been wanting to see Robot Wars again for years, and I think I was probably saying to you about a year ago, like, imagine what they could do with Robot Wars now with all of this tech, like fucking Raspberry Pi, like we were talking about before, like a 30 quid tiny computer that's more capable than anything we've had in the last, like 20, 30 years. In the space of 5 years, Raspberry Pi's been prevalent, really?
Prevalent, yeah. Probably in the past 3 years that it's been like consumable.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be crazy, and I'm really excited to just seeing what people can do, and I want to make a robot.
Do you think they're going to get Craig? Was it Craig Charles that hosted?
Yeah.
I thought I was going to make it. No, there was that blonde lady who would do the behind the scenes bit
and stuff.
Yeah, she'd be like, "What's your robot about?" And they'd be like, "It kills things." And she's like, "Oh, awesome!" And she'd go on to the next thing. Yeah,
I hope they get him back.
That would be great.
He's great. Yeah,
I'm sure he's not doing too. What does he? He has that show on Radio 2.
Yeah, it's like a funk show.
Yeah,
he has a funk and soul show on Radio 2, and I'm pretty sure that's about it.
Yeah, so I'm sure, I'm not saying I know the guy. I'm just saying, he might have some time. Might have some time to reboot his career in Robot Wars.
Favorite robot?
Just all in all?
From Robot Wars.
No, I meant we're including house bots and competition bots as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's either... I remember we were talking about this yesterday, I think. I couldn't quite remember the name of the robot, and I think you could. But it was the one that looked like a giant pincer.
It's Dead Metal.
Dead Metal.
Yeah.
I fucking loved that thing so much. I think it's the one we're talking about. I used to have a little toy of it as well.
I had a toy of it, and it had like a motor in it that you could
it wasn't that cool. It was like tiny. It was about this big.
It's this, isn't it? But with the pin, because Dead Metal used to have...
I do really like this one, but it's not that one.
Oh, God.
No, the pincer's more like this shape. Like a curve.
Right, yeah. It might have been Razor. It's basically the same robot.
Razor, that was it. Razor was my favourite. I really like Dead Metal as well. That was really cool. But Razor, if you guys know which one that one is, I always used to think it looked like an eagle.
Yeah, it does pretty much.
Yeah, and because this is the thing, these are the ones that always won, were the more simple designs. Because everyone would always make like these things that had like drills that came out of them and like little flamethrowers and stuff. And it's like, you don't need that. You need one simple mechanism that will just fuck over the team.
Yeah.
This one, it just had a really fucking big, strong, well-built, just fucking pincer that just had the crushing power of a fucking crocodile's jaw.
Yeah, I cannot imagine how high that number is on a PSI counter.
Too high. And like fucking 2-pack high. And it would just fucking tear through the electrics, pull out, and that's your car's fucked because fucking half of the hydraulics in it.
Your chassis broken.
Yeah, your
entirely.
chassis broken. Yeah, that's what I mean. And I feel like that's the best way to do it. It's just like, I guess like look at the animal kingdom and just be like, what's that one thing that's setting you apart from everyone else? And it, like with a crocodile, it's like, that would be cool if you could like grab it and then just twist that one bit of metal that you've grabbed, because that's what crocodiles do, innit? They grab you, put you in a death roll, just like rip your fucking arm off like paper. I like you just tear like a huge chunk of metal out.
We could build a robot. Let's build a robot.
We could fucking build a robot, mate. Let's build a robot.
So let's make it like a crocodile then. So there's our
Do
design.
you want to build a robot?
All it has to have is like a rotating bit at the front that you've got control over on the pad, and with like little pincers on it.
That's what I mean. And also, I'm pretty sure, like you said with the Raspberry Pi there's way more, there's probably way more control you can have over this robot. I mean, I'd probably still want to just go for one of those more mechanical remotes than like a fucking tablet. Like, for that, like, I'm not going to piss around with a tablet, especially when I've got grease all over my hands from being in the back. Just wiping it all over my Samsung, just like, fucking hell, it won't press the buttons.
It keeps pressing Spotify. Fuck.
Hey, what was your favourite robot, man?
I really liked Hypnodisc.
Go on, bring it up.
Or Chaos 2.
Yeah, Chaos 2. Chaos 2, I'm pretty sure, was the champion for a long while, right?
Yeah, it was Chaos 2 and Hypnodisc were probably the
See, what did
most
Hypno... I'm guessing
famous.
that disc, on because from basically, it's an extremely simple design. It basically looks like a soapbox car, right? And then there's just there's like a slightly lowered down bit in the front and just a humongous metal disc on it that has two protruding metal parts. So essentially it's a bit like a fan almost. But
it just rips shit apart basically. And it does it efficiently and fast. And
yeah, because I feel like,
I think that's...
Yeah, because it's got a really low center of gravity. We're watching a video of it here, just fucking some shit up. And it's very low down. So the fact that it's got this really fast spinning disc means it's not going to fucking set it around. It's got a really weighted back. So doesn't keep it spinning around. And it just has two fucking huge heavy bits of metal that are just going to, rip huge chunks out of you.
And because it's so close to the ground, it's really hard to flip it.
Low center of gravity. So maybe, is there any footage of Hypnodisc and Chaos 2? Getting in on each other.
I'm not sure if they were in the same like era. Oh no, there is Robot Wars, the Third Wars. Here we go. Hypnodisc versus Chaos 2. Chaos 2 was just basically a big flipper.
Yeah, it was literally just a little ramp. He'd get under you, flip you over, and if your car wasn't made to fucking... Yeah, that's it. He'd flick, because Robot Wars... For those of you who don't know what Robot Wars is...
yeah, that.
I mean, the title's pretty self-explanatory. You build a robot, and... there you go, see, fucked him. You build a robot, and then they battle in the arena. Yeah. And the arena isn't just like... It has like little traps. You have like a little fire pit. If you go over it, fire will go over your robot.
Yeah.
Was there like just a pit in general?
There was a pit that you had to go... hit a button to open on the other side of the arena.
That's it, yeah.
And then you could, if you got your opponent into that, you would automatically win.
Yeah.
Basically.
And also to up the excitement, in case there was like two really shitty robots on the field, they had these things called the house spots, which were just like, super overpowered robots. There was one called Sir Kill-A-Lot, which kind of looked like a Terminator and a tortoise,
just
mixed together. And he had like a knight's helmet or whatever, and he just had
a spear and a fucking claw.
Yeah,
basically.
spear and a claw. There was Lady. I swear that rhino thing was called Lady something, right?
There's Matilda.
Oh yeah.
It's got a buzzsaw on the back and then like a flipper jaw thing on the front.
Yeah, literally, that looks like a rhino and a beetle.
Then there was Circular Lot, which had a flamethrower and like pincers on the front. And yeah, there's just a bunch of house robots that they used to rotate, and that just made things a bit more interesting, really.
But it seemed from so that was it. You made your thing, and you battled and you won. And also, interesting little fact: did you ever watch MythBusters? Do you ever watch MythBusters?
Yeah.
Well, the Japanese guy Grant Imahara and the main guy who looks like a walrus, J.B. Heinemann, they were both on the American version of Robot Wars.
Oh, sweet!
At the very same time, they actually battled against each other once.
Nice.
And this was before MythBusters and everything.
Sweet. Apparently they hate each other. The two presenters of MythBusters.
I don't think they. I've heard that before, and I remember looking into it, and I don't think it's like they hate each other. It's just like they just wouldn't be seen hanging out with each other after work. Like they get on with each other professionally, and then as soon as the day's done, they just go their separate ways. And it's like not like they like, fucking hate him. It's just like he's not my friend. He's just my colleague. Yeah.
So it's strange though, isn't it?
It is strange.
They've got an on-screen chemistry that's like.
Then again, I mean, we don't. I fucking just as soon as this is done, I just go. I clock out and I just go home. And,
very true.
Nah, I'm just messing with you.
So I guess that brings us to an end. Oh, it was good. It was good. I think we had a flow for once.
I know, man. Even though we had a really big pause in the middle, which obviously you guys aren't going to hear, but we just had a little. Maybe that's what it was. We had a little breather in the middle. We just chilled out for a second.
Yeah, but normally if we do that, we just end up like.
We just end up getting depressed about it. And
yeah. So, I guess.
Guess this is it.
Final song, guys. Come down on Saturday and don't get in.
Or maybe you might, because someone might not turn up.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, if you live on like the other side of London, don't fucking make your way over here thinking, maybe someone will drop out. But if you live in the local area, just fucking go out shopping for the day. They just pop down the shop, see if there's any space available, come in. It's free.
Even if you're here before 2, then there'll be shit going on. We're going to hopefully have Sarah down for a signing.
Sarah Grayley, the woman who did our super adventure.
Yeah. So she should be there for a signing before 2, and then we'll probably end up moving all the shit off the shelves.
Yeah, because we don't want those dirty punks standing around doing nothing. And I'm just kidding. Don't want them flicking their greasy crust hands through our books,
exactly.
Man.
Yeah, can't have none of that. So, thanks for listening. I should say as well, like if you want to get in touch with us, because I always forget to say.
I always forget to say this. Yeah, just
you can email us on hello@vaultcomics.co.uk and we'll try and do that, or you can message us through the Facebook page.
Yeah, if you just go to Vault Comics, and we don't have a separate one for the podcast, but yeah, you just do that. Gonna talk to the same 2 guys all the time. It's either me or Dean.
Yeah.
And we have a 97% response rate, which I don't know why.
Because I've replied to everyone.
No. Because we were on 100, and this is what I mean. We have responded to everyone on our Facebook page. Yeah, it only says 97%. That's a fucking lie. We respond all the time. It's 100%. Yeah.
Right. Righteous. So this is Kirk Session by a band called Min Diesel. It's on Struggletown Records, who we've played a few songs of theirs before because they're really nice guys. And this is from a free sampler called Struggletown Records is Fun, and it came out just at the end of last year. So you can check it out. You can get about 10 tracks for free, various artists, various different genres and stuff, and there's some really cool stuff on there, including some bits that we've actually played on here before. So yeah, enjoy.
Check it.
Bye.
In a bit.
Sand